Good day, everyone. Welcome to today's discussion. It's chapter 17, maintenance and reliability. Now I know what some of you might be thinking. Maintenance? That sounds technical and maybe a bit boring. But trust me, by the end of our session today, you will see just how critical this topic is. Not just for factories and equipment, but for every organization that wants to stay competitive and keep their customers happy. So think about it. When was the last time you got frustrated because your phone stopped working or maybe an elevator broke down when you were running late? That is exactly what we are talking about today. So let us dive in and discover how the best companies in the world keep everything running smoothly. Let's go. So let me give you a roadmap of what we will cover today. So we have six major areas to explore. The first one is we will start with the basics, okay? Defining what maintenance and reliability actually mean in the context of operations management. The second one is we will look at the two main ways to improve reliability because let's face it, we all want things to work better and last longer, right? And the third, we will examine the two types of maintenance. Yes, there are different approaches, and choosing the right one can save your company thousands and even millions of pesos. Okay? And the fourth one is we will explore modern maintenance practices, particularly something called the TPM or the total productive maintenance, okay? Which is actually a game changer in how organizations think about taking care of their equipment. And the fifth one is we will discuss some important considerations that every manager needs to keep in mind when developing maintenance policies. And finally, we will wrap up with best practices, the tried and tested strategies that leading companies actually use in order to excel in maintenance and reliability. So, are you ready? Let's get started. Alright, so let us begin with the fundamentals. What exactly do we mean when we talk about maintenance and reliability? Well, maintenance is actually quite straightforward. Okay, it is all about keeping equipment and system working properly. Now, think of it like taking care of your car, taking care of your phone, taking care of your laptop, desktop, okay? For your car, how do you take care of it? How do you do your maintenance? So you change the oil, you check the tires, and make sure everything is running smoothly, right? Well, that is exactly maintenance. In a business context, it means all the activities involved in keeping machines, computers, facilities, basically everything the company uses is in good working order. Okay? Now let's proceed to reliability. Reliability is a bit more technical, but it is equally important. Okay? Reliability refers to the chance that something will work correctly for a specific time period. Say, for example, if we say a machine has 95% reliability over 1 year, then that means there is a 95% chance it will function properly throughout that entire year without failing. Okay? So meaning, the higher the reliability, the better. Okay? So here is the crucial point I want you to remember. Both of these concepts are absolutely important for any organization. Why? Well, because equipment failures can be incredibly expensive. Yes, we are talking about loss of production time, the missed deadlines, your unhappy customers, and in some cases, especially in industries like healthcare or aviation, failures can even be dangerous and actually cost lives. Okay? So, when we talk about maintenance and reliability, we are really talking about protecting the company's investment, ensuring safety, and keeping customers satisfied. It is that important. So now that we understand what reliability means, the natural question is, how do we improve it? How do we make our systems more dependable? Well, there are two fundamental strategies, and they are actually quite intuitive once you think about them. Okay? So let's go to the first one. The first way is to make individual parts better. This makes sense, right? So if you have a machine with 10 components and each component is stronger, more durable, and better designed, then the whole machine becomes more reliable. Well, companies invest in higher quality materials, better engineering, and more rigorous testing to improve individual components. Yes, this might cost more upfront, but it actually pays off in the long run through fewer failures and better performance. Okay? And the second way is to add backup components. We call this redundancy. I want you to think about airplanes, okay? So the airplanes, they have multiple engines, backup electrical systems, and duplicate critical components. Why is that so? Because if one fails, the backup kicks in and the plane keeps flying safely. This is redundancy in action. So you are essentially creating a safety net so that even if something fails, the system as a whole keeps functioning. Okay? So now here is an interesting business consideration. The first approach, which is making parts better, actually tends to be more expensive initially, but it requires fewer components. The second approach, which is adding redundancy, means more parts and potentially higher complexity, but it actually provides that extra layer of security. So, smart operations managers often use a combination of both strategies, especially for critical systems where failure is simply not an option. So, think about hospitals, power plants, or data centers, right? They cannot afford to have systems go down because if they did, it is such a great failure. They will lose customers, they will lose their capital, and a lot more. Okay? So let us talk about something really practical now. We have the two main types of maintenance. This is where companies make critical decisions that affect their bottom line. Okay? So first we have what we call the preventive maintenance. So I want you to think of this as the proactive approach. It is like going to a doctor for regular check. Okay? With preventive maintenance, you are regularly checking and servicing equipment before things break. You are changing filters, lubricating moving parts, inspecting for wear and tear, and even replacing components based on schedule. So, meaning we are not waiting for them to fail. That is a proactive approach. Now, the philosophy here is simple, okay? catch problems early before they turn into expensive disasters. Then we have what we call the breakdown maintenance, which is the reactive approach. So this is basically the fix it when it breaks strategy. You run the equipment until something fails and then you repair it. Now, I know what you are thinking. That sounds risky. Yeah, of course, that is very risky. And you are right, it often is. But here is the thing. For some types of equipment, especially the non-critical items, this approach might actually make economic sense. Well, okay, let me give you an example. Imagine you have an expensive piece of manufacturing equipment that is critical to your production line. And you also have a basic office printer. Okay? So does it make sense to have the same maintenance approach for both? Well, probably not. Okay? The critical manufacturing equipment should definitely have preventive maintenance because if it breaks down, you could lose millions in lost production. But that office printer, maybe breakdown maintenance is fine. Well, just fix it when it breaks. Okay? The key is understanding which approach makes sense for which assets. And that's what separates good operation managers from great ones. Okay? The great ones are making smart decisions about where to invest in preventive maintenance and where breakdown maintenance is acceptable. So now, let's move into more advanced territory. Let us talk about modern maintenance practices and specifically something called total productive maintenance or the TPM for short. Okay? The total productive maintenance is really a comprehensive approach. Okay? It is not just about fixing your machines. Okay? It is about creating an entire organizational culture around maintenance excellence. Well, let me break down what this includes, okay? The first one is that it starts with designing equipment that is easy to maintain. So this means when companies are buying new machines or designing new processes, they actually think about maintenance from day one. They ask questions like, can operators easily access parts that need regular servicing? Can we diagnose problems quickly? Is this machine designed for easy repairs? Well, this is actually thinking ahead, okay? And the second one is that TPM involves training operators to maintain their own machines. So this is a big shift from the traditional model where operators just run machines and maintenance people fix them. So in total productive maintenance, operators actually take ownership. They learn basic maintenance tasks, they can spot potential problems early, and they work as partners with the maintenance department. And the third one is that the TPM uses computers to track maintenance. So modern systems can actually monitor equipment performance in real time. Okay, so they can predict when maintenance is needed, they can schedule orders automatically, and they can keep detailed records of everything. So this data-driven approach means you are not guessing. Okay, you are making informed decisions based on actual performance data. And the fourth one is your regular inspections and servicing are built into the system. So nothing is left to chance. Okay? Everything here is scheduled, everything is tracked, and everything is documented. And finally, the TPM, it actually considers total ownership costs when buying an equipment. This is really important, okay? A machine that costs less upfront but requires expensive maintenance might actually be more expensive over its lifetime than a pricier or more pricey machine that's reliable and easy to maintain. So actually, TPM forces companies to think about the complete picture. Okay? The benefit of this TPM, or the beauty of this TPM, is that it brings together the quality management principles with maintenance practices. So it is about preventing problems and not just reacting to them. Okay? So now, let me share some really important considerations that every manager needs to understand about maintenance. Well, these are the reality checks. These are the things that are not always obvious but actually make a huge difference. Okay? So first is we have the regular maintenance that might seem expensive, but it is usually much cheaper than dealing with breakdowns. Okay? Well, I know it is tempting to think, right? Hey, let's skip this maintenance cycle and save some money. Okay? Some businesses do think that way. But that is a short-term thinking that can lead to long-term disaster. Okay? And let me tell you about the hidden costs of breakdowns. So these are the things that do not show up a simple repair bill. So these are the lost production time, which is huge, okay? If a critical machine goes down, meaning your entire production line will stop, okay, or might stop. Every minute of downtime is money lost, meaning products you cannot make and orders that you cannot fill, or the orders that you cannot deliver to your customers. And you have these damaged customer relationships, which is very devastating. Now, I want you to imagine, let's say, for example, you have promised your customer to deliver the item or the order at a certain date, but your equipment broke down and you cannot meet that deadline. So your customer might forgive you once, but twice, they will find a more reliable supplier. Okay? So safety risks are another serious concern here. Equipment that is not properly maintained can be dangerous. Workers can get injured, and the company faces liability, insurance issues, and damaged morale. Okay? So speaking of morale, breakdowns kill employee morale. Yes. Think about how frustrated workers get when they are standing around waiting for repairs instead of doing their jobs. It affects productivity and job satisfaction. And finally, companies often need extra inventory as backup. Well, just in case equipment breaks down and they cannot produce, well, this ties up valuable capital in inventory that would not be necessary if equipment was more reliable. So, when you add all these hidden costs together, that preventive maintenance program doesn't look so expensive anymore, right? Well, in fact, it starts looking like a smart investment. Okay, so let us wrap up with some best practices. So these are the proven strategies that leading companies use to excel in maintenance and reliability. So the first one is train operators to handle basic maintenance. So this goes back to our TPM, the total productive maintenance discussion a while ago, that when operators can actually perform simple tasks like cleaning, lubricating, and basic inspections, you can actually catch problems early and build a sense of ownership. So workers take better care of equipment so they understand and they feel responsible for. Okay? The second one is that you keep good maintenance records. So these cannot be overstated. Okay? You document everything. When maintenance was performed, you document when the maintenance was performed, what was done, what parts were replaced, how long it took, and what it cost. Okay? So these records become invaluable for spotting patterns, planning future maintenance, and making decisions about whether to repair or replace equipment. Okay? Without good records, you are flying blind. Okay? So that's why you really need good records. The third one is the use of modern technology. So we actually live in an amazing age where sensors can detect problems before humans can. Computers can analyze patterns and predict failures. And systems can automatically alert maintenance teams when something needs attention. So companies that embrace these technologies have a massive advantage. They can actually predict problems before they happen. Imagine that? It's awesome. Okay? So you get an alert that says, this bearing will probably fail in 3 weeks. So you have to, so yeah, those things. So having that in mind, you have to schedule maintenance during planned downtime instead of having an emergency breakdown in the middle of the production. Okay? And the fourth one is you should have backup plans for critical equipment. So this is just smart risk management. So for equipment that is absolutely essential, you should have backup machines. So backup parts in stock or backup suppliers who can respond quickly. Okay? So hope for the best, but plan for the worst. That's how it sounds. And finally, balance maintenance costs with breakdown risks. So this is really the art of operations management. You cannot prevent every possible failure. That would be impossibly expensive. The goal here is that to find the best spot where you are investing appropriately in maintenance based on the actual risk and cost of breakdowns. So for critical equipment, you invest heavily, okay? For less critical items or equipment, a lighter approach might be fine. So all of these best practices, when implemented together, create a robust maintenance system that keeps operations running smoothly and, of course, efficiently. Okay, so that brings us to the end of our discussion on maintenance and reliability. So I hope that today's session has opened your eyes to just how important these topics are. Whether you end up working in manufacturing, healthcare, or even in aviation industry, understanding maintenance and reliability will make you a more valuable professional. Okay? Always remember that maintenance and reliability are not just about fixing broken things. They are actually strategic activities that protect your investments, ensure safety, satisfy your customers, and ultimately drive profitability. So before we end today's session, I encourage you to think about examples you see in your daily life. I want you to notice which companies seem to have reliable systems and which companies seem to always have problems. Okay? And then you ask yourself, why is that? So I'd like you to start thinking like operations managers. Thank you for your attention today, and I look forward to seeing you around. Take care and always remember that in operations management, the little things like maintenance and reliability often make the biggest difference. Goodbye, class. Take care.